Hey guys, you're watching Nightly Round Podcast, and chances are if you're listening to us right now, you have nothing better to do with your life, or you ran out of YouTube videos. But let's
Wow,
get
way to
started.
insult the audience.
But let's get started with me, Parker, Seth, Clint, and Johnny.
Boo.
The way you worded that, it almost sounds as if we have 5 people in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Are you speaking in third person? Me,
No,
Parker.
I'm just saying me, comma, Parker. Like that's how I introduce myself.
Gotcha.
It makes sense. I knew what you meant,
Yeah,
but for the Neanderthals that might be listening, just kidding. We love you.
yeah.
Johnny, did that make sense?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was really
Kinda.
believable.
I guess so.
Sort of.
Sure thing,
Okay,
Clint.
Maybe a little bit.
Sometimes when Seth does an impression of Johnny, I can't tell if it's the real Johnny or not.
So I can kind of do his laugh.
You're pretty good with the laugh now.
All right, Johnny, can you can you fake a laugh? Because I can fake yours.
You can't fake it. It's gotta happen.
That's it. It
Okay.
becomes you at the end.
Can we stop? I'm done. We'll just stop
The
recording right now.
podcast just started.
No, we're done. I'm kidding. All right, let's get
All
on
right.
to the first topic so we can keep our audience.
I wanted to bring up, what's you guys' favorite movie trilogy?
Star Wars.
I think I got
Which one? Original or prequel?
Original trilogy. Any other one doesn't like even count.
Prequel because of Revenge of the Sith. Best movie.
I disagree with that, but let's hear what everyone else has to say.
Well, I like The Lord of the Rings. That's probably my favorite
That's.
trilogy.
I was hoping you'd say that.
It's either that or The Mummy. No, The Mummy. The Mummy. No,
The Mummy.
Mummy is
3
probably. I know. Three was garbage. First was amazing. Second was okay, but The Mummy was probably. It's definitely my top 5 trilogies, but Lord of the Rings is definitely number 1. I have to say.
Johnny, what's yours?
Does Austin Powers count as a trilogy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Austin Powers. Either that or Back to the Future, but Austin Powers.
See, I
I
never
hate
watched
Back to
all
the
of the
Future.
Back
I'm
of.
sorry.
I never watched all of them.
The third one's the best where they go in the West.
The second one's the best.
They go in the future in that one. Pretty cool.
Whoa.
Those are all good answers that I expected, but they're all wrong. The best
Okay.
trilogy is Toy Story.
Oh my god.
So
It's
what do
not
you
going to
think
be a
about the
trilogy
original
soon, for a while.
That's
In a little bit.
Oh shoot, you're right, but it is the first 3 are perfect movies. They're almost, you can't find a weak one. But
Number
I
2.
want to talk a little bit more about Lord of the Rings. You guys know that that whole trilogy is an allegory for World War II.
I did not.
Yeah. So like the bad guys are obviously the Germans. Like the orcs and goblins are like Germans and the Japanese. The elves are the French. The dwarves are the Russians. The men are the English, and the eagles are the Americans.
Yeah, makes
Because I
sense.
guess the Eagles sort of came in and saved the day towards the end.
Yes. And
Huh.
J.R.R. Tolkien, he was English, so he kind of thought of the Americans as someone who comes in last minute all the time and then leaves and has barely any casualties.
Yeah, I mean we kind of do that in every in every world war that we've been involved in. The 2.
Hey, do you know why the Americans were called doughboys in World War One?
I do not.
I don't
They
know.
have pizza.
Because they were needed.
Yeah.
God.
That
was awful, but great.
Another interesting thing I read about Lord of the Rings. So Samwise Gamgee, he calls him Mr. Frodo all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's because like Samwise is more lower class than Frodo. Frodo comes from like a high class family. Samwise is just like a gardener and stuff.
Hmm.
And Tolkien, he always saw like he served in World War One. I think no, it was two, World War Two,
Yeah.
with a lot of like lower
Jesus.
class people, and he respected them. He kind of modeled Sam after those people. So
Huh.
that's a that whole story is very interesting because you can see a lot of the historical stuff in that, even though it's a story about elves and men and stuff like that.
It's it's related to real life.
There's still something to learn from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't care for you, but I will marry you. What a
Uh,
epic scene.
that was a really good scene.
What's your guys' favorite moment from that movie?
Mm.
That whole trilogy, excuse me.
Yeah. You got to give me a minute to think about that because there's so many really
I like
Let's
the
hunt
really
part
some orc.
really good
where the
scenes.
orcs are invading that one, they're like besieging this one town, and they're on top of the wall, and that one dwarf is like trying to look over the little turrets. He's like,
Oh yeah, Helm's Deep.
"Let's see." He's like, pick me up. I want to see what's going on.
Should I get you a box?
Yeah, that's probably my favorite part.
My
Uh,
favorite part's when Aragon becomes king and he's walking and he meets his wife and he's still walking and the hobbits they all bow to him and he goes, "My friends, you bow to no one," and everyone in the whole kingdom bows and then the music goes "Da-da-da-da-da-da." And every time it happens I wish that could happen to me,
and
like
it
somebody
never
just comes
will.
up to me.
You won't
Thank
let that
you for
happen
that.
to me.
I wish it would. I wish somebody would be like at work or something. It's like when people start clapping for me, I'm like, oh, I don't deserve this. I'm just a hobbit.
Yeah, you're hairy
I'm
like
just a boy
one.
from Charlotte.
My friends, you bow to no one.
I swear you
That is
said
such a great
Aragon
thing.
whenever you meant to say
What's his name?
Aragorn.
Aragon.
It's Aragorn.
It's Aragon.
Oh my
Aragon
God,
is the
Clint.
boy who rides dragon.
Also a great fantasy movie. Unfortunately, not a trilogy. Johnny, have you never seen Lord of the Rings?
I never really got into that.
He's not as nerdy as we are.
Yeah.
A wizard is never late. He
Photo
arrives
games.
precisely when he needs to.
No, I
That's
forgot.
whatever I
Nor is he
say.
early. Nor is he early.
Run, you things.
I say that whenever I'm 3 hours late to work.
I love that. I
When
love that
people
one
shake their head
scene.
at you.
Yeah.
I love that one scene. And I think it's in Is it in Return of the King where the King of Helm's Deep is eating, and Pippin is like singing to him, and it's the battles going on in the background. Like it keeps cutting between the king eating, and
I
the
think that's
battle
Return of the
raging.
King.
Okay, yeah.
I remember watching that for the first time, and my granny was like, "He needs to chew with his mouth closed." Because he's
Yeah.
just kind of like slobbering, and he's eating fruit.
Yeah, and it's like towards the end, whenever like everyone starts dying in the battle, like all the men, he starts eating something like I guess a strawberry or something that like bleeds red almost, and I get that sort of signifies it's like everyone dying, and I thought that was really really good.
Hate to rain on your parade, but I hate that scene.
I like that scene. It's not my favorite. I can't. There's so much to actually remember. I can't really pick
Also,
out a
when
specific
Ned
scene.
Stark dies, when Boromir gets killed, and his last words to Aragorn is like, "My
Aragorn.
captain, my king." That part's really good. It's Aragorn. Let's hunt some orc.
It's Aragorn.
Tomato, tomato.
How about
Uh,
other than I was just gonna change the topic again,
Yeah, let's do.
but if you have something better to say, then you can say
yeah.
it.
What I wanted to say was, do you guys think which one's better for those who haven't seen it? John, I know what Johnny's probably gonna say, but I've been thinking about this for the past year. What's better, Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones?
Honestly, I would say Lord of the Rings.
I think Game of Thrones. 'Cause
But to change the
I don't know
topic,
why you like.
my question was, is since we're like back on movies again, I guess. What's the weirdest crush, or like, what's one crush you had when you were just a little kid from either like a star from a
Ooh.
movie or character, or like a video game character?
I have a really
Selena
good one.
Gomez.
So
I got-
Gomez.
Can I say
You
mine?
see
'Cause
this,
it,
Selena?
Yeah, Glenn, go ahead.
this is gonna sound weird, but because I thought he was a girl. Legolas, Legolas from Lord of the Rings.
You have this problem a lot before girls.
I
You
thought it
don't
was a
just
girl.
was a girl.
Everyone did.
No one did, Clint. Only you.
I didn't realize it until like the second movie. And my uncle was like, "That's a dude."
Oh,
And 7-year-old me was like, "Oh, okay."
Well, this... okay,
shit.
okay. Mine, it's
Oh,
actually probably from the Phantom of the Opera, Christine Daae. That I remember. My sister
Why'd
would
you
make
watch
me.
that as a little kid?
My sister would make me watch it because she was like really into musicals and stupid stuff like that. I hated them, but that one spoke. I really enjoyed
I
that
thought
one.
your sister was a little sister.
I have a big sister and a little sister.
What? You have a big sister?
Yeah, she's like 25.
Oh my god, when did this happen? Congratulations.
Thanks. 5 years before I was born. She's 24. Yeah, 24. I don't even know how
Wow,
old my sister is.
Terrible, terrible.
But actually, if we could switch to video game characters as well, Laura Croft is probably one of my childhood crushes.
I thought you were about to say Ellie.
I told you a million times it's not Ellie. I don't have a crush on her. It's a respect.
I don't know. I don't love her. I respect her.
I respect women.
Such a feminist thing to say.
Yeah. I mean,
Clint,
Seth, how are you still single?
you are a
That's the
feminist. What are you
question.
talking about?
Yeah.
Clint is more of a feminist than Seth. I'm sorry.
How am I a feminist? What feminist things have I ever said?
I honestly I cannot say any.
I can't
Exactly.
say anything off the top of my head,
think
but I
Seth
know
is
for a
the most
fact he
famous
says
one who-
something.
He's a real modern thinking man, though.
Exactly,
He's not
thank
afraid
you.
to do some women's work. I don't know.
So,
Women's.
my first job, my first real job, working concessions at a park, they asked me if I wanted to do maintenance or concessions. I picked concessions because the maintenance stuff is like for hard-working men that go out in the sun and like pick up trash and stuff. I stayed with the girls and just served candy.
I took the same job after he talked it up, and I realized that it was actually the worst thing of all time, the worst job of all
Dude,
time.
that job's fun.
It was fun. I enjoyed working at BMX, like the BMX track. That was really fun. Cherry Park was garbage. I'm sort of giving away.
Hot dog.
there was this
a hot dog?
there was this old woman. Her name was Mrs. Shirley. She could not see, and she had freaking bat-like hearing though. She had really good hearing.
If you were talking crap about her in another room, she would hear.
And she'd be like,
very
"What?"
angry.
Turn that hearing aid up to 11.
She
No
didn't even
hearing
have
aids, it was all
hearing aids.
natural.
She
She was like Daredevil. Couldn't see, but had great hearing.
For real.
And smell.
and yeah, she could smell anything. But
Well,
when
except
I
that
worked
time
at
she
a
tried
golf
to drink
course,
bleach.
one of the
She couldn't
managers
smell
at the
that.
golf course I worked at couldn't see, hear, or, well, none of his five senses basically worked. So I would just go out and play golf when he was working there, and he would never know.
but I sort of want to talk about Miss Shirley some more.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
She,
Keep going.
she's
Chicken
such a
tenders and hot dogs.
yeah. So she was a cook, right? And whenever we would take someone's order at the cash register, it would automatically go back and print a receipt back
she
in the
couldn't see it.
kitchen, and she could not see it. She had to have someone back there to read it to her so that she could make the order. And she'd come out with the order, and the window would be closed. Like there's the takeout window. The window would be closed, and she'd start yelling at the window, "Hot dog! Hot dog!" It's like she never knew, and then like we would have to get up from like pretty much the other side of the room and open the window for her, or take. I guess we could have just taken the the meal from her, but we
That
never
eventually
did.
became somebody's role would be a runner to grab the food and then go take the order out because she couldn't do it.
Was this after I
Um,
quit?
sort of. When there's also one time there was a bottle of bleach and she tried to drink it and I tried to take it away from her and she's like, "Boy, give me that milk back." I'm like, "No, you can't drink this."
Didn't she ask about me?
Yeah, when you got killed.
That's another thing. This job was actually wild. After I quit, our manager she sent out an email and she made it seem as if I had died, like tragically.
Seth Miller is no longer with us. We will not mention this.
And then they had like a big meeting, and she held up that front. She would not talk about Seth Miller.
Yeah, we never talked. And then like a girl that's Seth White, she came up behind me after the meeting. She's like, what happened to Seth? And she looked like really sad, like she was about to cry. And I'm like, and I'm a good actor. Well, not really. I was laughing while I was doing this. I'm like, he died. I was trying to be serious, but I started laughing. And she was very disturbed. So, I thought they'd always your friend.
It was a psychopath. What did it?
He
What
died.
kills-
He died, and I'm the one who killed him.
No, she looked at me. She looked at me and she's like, "What did you do?
What did you do tomorrow?
What happened, Clint?"
This girl's name is Anna, and one night actually, Clint was hanging out at my house and I had a couple other friends, and he started talking about her, and I just like I yelled her name and I just like slammed my head into the wall behind me. I was like, Anna, boom, thud.
Honestly, I made like some great friends at that job, and I still do. Like I love that job.
That's a pretty good job. It was a good job. I didn't like it while I was there, but I missed the people that I worked with.
I know. That's why I'm afraid to leave.
Well, I mean, pretty much everyone, all the good people have left by now, really.
Johnny, I want to talk a bit about your job at Walmart.
I don't work at Walmart no more.
Well, I want to talk
Uh-oh.
about all the crazy
But I
stuff
do
that
work there.
happened. Yeah.
What there is to say.
Tell us why we shouldn't buy a TV from Walmart. Tell us about
Oh,
it.
they just throw that shit on there. I won't buy that shit. They just throw it on the truck.
Tell us about the massage chair that people tried to race, and that one kid that you hated.
Oh my. He would sprint to the massage chair every day.
We gotta give him a name. What's his name? And he was super small and skinny, and like all through high school and stuff. And then he got fat and weird
Yeah,
looking.
yeah.
Wait.
It looks like a fucking like.
Is this kid's name Steven?
Yep.
No, no. Oh my goodness. Tell his name. Just tell his name to the world.
Chef, you're the one that always name drop people on the
Yeah,
podcast.
I know, but I'm not dropping last names. Steven's a
Anna's
pretty
gonna be
generic
listening
name.
to this like, oh my god, this freaking weirdo. I thought he was dead, but he came back and now he's talking about me on a
And
podcast.
apparently he liked me. Oh my god.
Oh, I shouldn't have mentioned that. I'm sorry.
And I
She
don't really
definitely
care.
had a thing for Seth Miller, though. Gonna say that right now.
Who couldn't?
I know.
Who wouldn't have a thing for
Irresistible.
Seth Miller?
I sure don't. I mean, I sure do.
A lot of people
I was
have a thing
about
for
to
me.
Clint, you have some bullshit. I'm sorry. It's the truth. We need to hear it.
How?
You know, I ain't gonna say, but you know, somebody has a brother. I'm talking about their sister. You say their sister's obsessed with you. Their sister's not obsessed with you.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So do
So
I.
in high school, pretty early on, well, I don't remember. It was 11th grade. There was this weird girl in broadcasting. Always started looking at me like she sat in front of me, and she turned around and just stared at me, and it was very weird. And then I saw her take a picture of me, right? And then she sent it to her friend, and she's like, so cute. And then sent it to her friend, and then her friend was like, he knows Nelly. Like that was the text that she sent back.
He
And we were doing
knows
something.
Nelly.
And we were doing something, right? And we were alone, and she says, what would you do if I took my shirt off right now? And I'm like, I'd call the police. But she was so weird. I was serious too. I was not. I was
this
not
girl
a fan
was.
of her.
No way.
This
You
girl.
know who we're talking about, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Fine. I really, really want to drop her name.
I
Her name
Yeah, we can't
is,
drop name. We
her
can't
name-
drop names.
Her name is Sansa.
Let's give her. Yeah, let's name her Sansa. Nah, Sansa. She's not Sansa. She's Red Woman.
She's red. Yeah, crazy bitch.
She's Red Woman, and I'm Gendry. That's the perfect scenario.
It really is. For those of you who don't watch Game of Thrones and aren't big nerds like us, that was
I'm not a nerd.
that was a really funny reference, and you should watch the show to
Clint.
understand it.
You wore a Captain America outfit. You going to
To
wear
go
it watch
see
the movie.
Infinity War.
How you
What if
not
I?
a
Do you
nerd?
think Stormbreaker would have sat beside us if I wore that?
Nope.
No. you got so embarrassed because we was at the gas station. Everybody was watching him.
Oh, I was pretty happy.
He had the
So they was like,
stupidest,
what the
the
fuck?
stupidest grin on his face. And then I got out to take a picture, and like the wind started blowing, and Clint has kind of long hair, and it was like the most dramatic looking thing I've ever seen in my life. And he tilted his chin up, like he was doing something to be proud of, pumping gas into his car.
Because I was Captain America. I was cool. And it was Halloween recently, and I worked this Halloween event, and they were like, "All right, kids, take a picture with Moana." And a girl was dressed up as Moana, so I cut in front of like some children to take a picture with her, and I'm like, "Can I take a picture with you?" And she's like, and Cinderella's there too. They look concerned, like they give like the most crookedest look I've ever seen. They're like, sure? And they're like, oh, and then they remember they have to be in character and act. Like, oh, you can be our little prince. And I put my arms around, well, they put their like arms like crossed with mine. You know how like people, like fancy people walk together?
Yeah,
And I have like the most dumbest looking grin on my face. Like I'm way too happy to take a picture with these children.
With these imposters, they're not even real princesses.
And the Moana was right, was a white girl, so not even accurate.
She
But I
was
was
white.
really-
She wasn't even like Hawaiian or whatever she is supposed
Oh
to
no,
be.
no, not at all. But I was so freaking happy, unbelievably happy.
Yeah, I've seen the
One
picture.
of,
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
Hey, Clint.
gonna send it in the group chat just in case you guys haven't, just to see how freaking
You
happy I am.
If you can, you should
What
put
do
that
you-
picture up of Clint.
If I can.
And
yeah,
also,
I'll try
I'm
and edit
leaning,
it in.
I'm leaning super close to Moana and super far away from Cinderella. Because I like Moana movies more, so.
There's like a 15-degree angle. It's like you're leaning so hard towards Moana. It's actually ridiculous.
Look how happy I am. I've never been. I look like that's gonna be my face when somebody says, "We bow." You bow to no one, and everyone bows to me. That's gonna be my face when that happens.
Wait, was this at PRT?
Yes,
Oh,
it
okay.
was.
For some reason, I thought this was gonna be whenever you worked at in the.
Oh, we can't talk about my job. We can't talk about my job.
You was talking about my job. What are you talking about?
You don't work there anymore,
Well, that's,
Johnny.
well, you don't work there no more. You can say whatever
Yeah,
you
but
want about
I
Walmart.
could go back if I wanted to. I
They
would.
would
I thought
hire
you-
instant.
I worked at some top secret organizations.
It's not top secret, but we're not gonna talk
Not
about
really.
it.
No, no.
Yeah, Clint, let's just stop talking about it rather than bringing it up again.
Oh, darn, I really wanted to build the mystery up.
Nope.
What do your foreign girlfriends think about that?
Ooh, we
Well,
could talk about foreign women.
I think Seth knows. I don't even think I could tell it. I think Seth knows about my history with this.
I think Clint has a thing for foreign women.
But they don't
Oh,
have one
but,
back.
you don't
I
think.
guess,
This is
yeah,
confirmed. I
I
do.
know. It's not that weird. It's not a weird thing, I guess.
But he
It's
does
just
have
weird that it happens so much.
Yeah, to you specifically, yeah.
I don't know.
Hey.
I have a foreign girlfriend.
I think I've done every continent.
Wait, Parker. I thought.
Yeah.
She's not foreign.
Yeah, I have a foreign girlfriend. She's from Texas.
Nice.
It's practically
I
like
can name about
the desert.
20 countries just because the people I met.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican,
Poland.
Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too. I could go on.
I want to talk about one in particular. So I met this one girl, right? This is 11th grade too. So there's this girl. She's from Europe, right? I'm not gonna say the country because I don't want to
Poland.
give. Why? Why you gotta do that? She listens to the podcast, okay?
Do you
But
think that we're going to
anyways.
start World War III over a podcast?
No, I'm just gonna say she's probably embarrassed right now. Like, oh my God, Clint, he's talking about me still. It was 2 years ago. But I remember when I first met her, and I was still scared to like go out with her. So my plan was when I first went out with her that I would have Seth like follow us just in case she tries to capture me or something. I don't know why I thought that because I thought she was like a Black Widow agent or something.
I was never made aware of that plan. You never even mentioned that to
Yes,
me.
at lunch, I was like, listen, here's a plan. I'm going to go out with this girl because I think she's pretty.
Okay.
But if something goes down, I need you in the sniper's nest.
I see. I didn't think you were serious at all about that.
Oh, I was, yeah.
I mean, I should
I'm
have.
always
I would
serious.
know that now. I'd take you seriously now, but
You should have took me. I would have brought a knife.
Oh my gosh.
freaking just
This-
killer.
So in our senior year of high school, me, Johnny, and another friend of ours, we're driving up to a Hornets game, right? And we're pulling into the parking garage, and Johnny says, if something goes down, I bought this. And he pulls this big knife out. I'm like, you can't bring that in. Like, leave it in the bus.
I would have thought you couldn't take a knife in a stadium. I was ready to get down.
Why did you bring that? Like, what do you think was going to happen?
There's homeless people. I ain't getting robbed. I ain't no bitch.
They can't do nothing. They're hungry. They can't move.
I was just ready to shank someone.
I had to throw away a pocket knife once when I was at whenever I went to a football game. I was walking in and I was feeling for my wallet because I was gonna have to put it in like that in one of those boxes that they scan or whatever. And then I felt my pocket knife in my pocket and I was like, oh my God, when am I gonna do this? So I talked to the guy that was like waving the wand or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I didn't mean to bring this. What should I do with it? Is there a person I can turn it into? And he was like, not really. No, there's really nothing you could do. I was like, okay. So I just threw it away because I wasn't gonna go walk all the way back to the hotel that I was staying at. Yeah. I had to
What
throw it
game
away.
was this?
It was Clemson. I think it was the national tournament, and it was in Charlotte.
Why did you stay at a hotel in Charlotte? We live close by.
It wasn't me. It was a friend who took me. So I just took advantage.
Weird.
It
Why
was
the hell
weird,
they have
but
a
shoot.
Freaking.
I mean, traffic was pretty bad, so I mean.
No, it ain't. It's
Sometimes as
Charlotte.
the shows end so late, people just get hotels. Like when my mom went to go see Kevin Hart, they just got a hotel.
Why? We're so
Because
close
it's so
by.
late.
It's an experience, Clint. I mean, sometimes it's just good to
It's
not
like
even have to
12
go back home.
I know people that actually like buy hotels for fun. Like they just get a hotel for a night. Why? That's so weird. Sleep in your own bed. That's
I don't
so.
know. But I
I
kind of
was
want to
at.
go ahead.
I
Go
was in Charlotte during that game. No traffic. Barely anybody there.
ahead.
It was
Okay,
something.
I
You paid
remember
all
traffic.
that. I don't. I don't
Well, the
remember
thing is,
that.
I didn't pay any money, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Would you
it was
do
my
it?
friend.
Would you pay money for a hotel?
No, I would not, because I don't have any
Yeah.
money. I wouldn't have even be
Oh.
able to buy tickets because I don't have any money.
People coming. But I wouldn't get a hotel for anything in Charlotte. I'd rather just go home.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I remember driving home like late one night and almost falling asleep on the highway.
I
What's
almost
the
fall asleep all the time whenever I'm coming back up here or going back home from where I'm at now, from college.
y'all say I'm the bad driver.
Just, like, close your eyes for
You
like
are a
5
bad
minutes.
driver.
You close your
They
eyes
can
for a
drive
minute
better
and
than
you're
you
in the
and
back of a trailer.
Can you repeat that, Parker?
You just close your eyes for a minute and the next thing you know you're like, you see red lights and you're in the back of a trailer.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
The other week, well, last week, I drove from Charlotte to Raleigh in the morning, and it was like 7 a.m. Well, I woke up at 6 a.m., took that drive, about 2.5 hours. Then I drove at night when the football game was finished, like, I hung out with some friends and stuff for a couple hours, and I got home about 4 a.m. So I was up for about 22 hours.
Congratulations.
I
Some
wasn't
of us
tired.
can't run on no sleep. Some of us require it.
I can. I'm Black Friday ready.
I
Unlike
thought-
you chumps.
I don't like Black Friday. I just don't really care that
It's
much.
great.
One,
I love it.
You have to have money to buy things that are on sale. I don't have any money.
Black Friday is overrated. Cyber Monday.
Well, come work with me at my store.
I don't want to work at your store.
Guys, we should all work together.
No.
Alright, get a job where I work.
Nah, y'all come where I work. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, Seth, I don't know if you know this, but Seth would piss me off when we worked together. Like, if he stayed any longer, it would have ruined our friendship.
What did I
'Cause
do?
he was such a smart ass. Like, I'd be at the register, and somebody say, I want a frozen Minute Maid. And I wouldn't be able to hear them because they're just stupid rednecks mumbling all the time. I'm like, what was that? And they're like, a Minute Maid. And then Seth would be like, damn, Clint, can you not hear? And it just pissed me off so much.
Quit bubbling that up inside for months.
Oh, yeah, I was. It pissed me off so much. Like, I wouldn't even talk to Seth. I'd just go home. I'd be so pissed off because of these little comments.
You remember the
Man, can
time
you not
we had
hear?
to? You remember the time we had to climb out of the
Oh,
job?
yeah.
We worked at like a pretty much like a little baseball field, and we worked late one night, and they closed the gates on us. Not like gates to drive out, gates to get into the actual field itself. So we had to like uncharted our way out of it, just vault ourselves over this chain link fence. And the
We
reason I
both-
say uncharted is because Clint was like, "I'll boost you up."
We were walking, and Seth goes, he looks at it, he's like, how are we going to get out of here? And I'm like, we've both played Uncharted before. Probably one of the coolest things I've ever said. And then, like,
Not cool.
I gave him a boost, but I couldn't get up because I'm a little weakling, according to some giant people. And then, so I just jumped on a trash can and jumped over. Kind of like Mario.
Yahoo!
We should talk about the guy that calls me a weakling.
Oh, freaking what God,
Everybody.
what's his name?
We can't say his name,
Okay, fine.
but
Jesus. Yeah,
there's
I
this
do need to
giant-
stop dropping names. My bad.
we should call him. What should we call him?
The Hound.
No, we should call him. What's that rock guy named Korg from Thor?
Korg. Yeah,
So there's this
Korg works.
Giant. There's this giant black guy. He's super muscular. Like he's
He's
the Rock
jacked.
big. So he'd always come up behind me at the mall when I was eating. He'd smack me on the back and he'd like, man, you weak. Just a little weakling. So tiny. You ain't never gonna get girls when you're that small, let me show you something, boy. And he pulls out his wallet, and he pulls out a little picture of him when he was like in high school or something. And he has like the thinnest arms, and he's he's like thinner than I am. He says, "This is me, but then I went to the gym. I got the gains, and I'm strong."
He's on steroids.
Yeah,
What
he's huge.
What a strange man.
And he also hits on like younger
Robert Frank.
children. But he also like he's pretty big on Periscope. But he's like a super big nerd. So like if you look at his room, it's all like superhero posters and stuff and
You walk
action
in,
figures.
it looks like a kid's room if you walk into his
Yeah,
room.
it looks he has like a big Captain America poster. So
Look
most
at
of his
Clint is just roasting him. But Clint has like the same shit in his room.
Clint is literally
also-
the equivalent to this man, but white.
And also, he's so weird because he put his own he photoshops his own face onto Superman and thinks he's cool. But
You Photoshop your face onto Thor and think it's cool.
I didn't Photoshop
It's,
it.
it's literally your profile picture.
Pay somebody do it. Quit
I
paying
didn't-
somebody do it so it's different.
It was at Disney World. But
Oh,
Still
anyway,
Photoshop.
his horoscopes are either him trying to get girls or him talking about Marvel movies.
And he doesn't scope
But
very
he's like-
often either.
He is a huge guy. Like he has gains, like he says.
Doesn't he have a picture of him like in a Superman outfit holding up the Earth? It's like it's
Yes,
time to
it's
bench
very
press some
embarrassing.
planets.
Time to bench press some planets, bros.
Clint just roasted him for being like muscular and having comic books and shit when Clint is like has the same shit.
But not
I mean,
muscular.
I do, but I'm not weird about it.
Yeah.
It's that all the difference between you and him is that you're white and you don't have muscles.
have
Other
some,
than
I
that,
guess.
like your mentality is exactly the same.
No, I'm not smacking people in the back, telling them to get gains and stuff.
You would if you
Because
had
you
body
ain't got
body.
gains, son. When you get
I
those
am-
gains, you start hitting people in
It
the back.
it is kind of weird that I'm making fun of him for his room while I'm in mine right now, where I have a bunch of superhero pop figures, me photoshopped as Star-Lord, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Thor, and all my
Wait,
bobbleheads.
hold on. You're
You got more
photoshopped as
Photoshop?
Obi-Wan?
Yeah, it's when I was a little kid.
Oh, okay. I
And
didn't know about that one.
My House Stark banner hanging up in my room.
Wait,
So maybe I shouldn't be talking crap
can you
about them,
explain?
but
Can you explain the pop figures? I think that's a pretty funny story. Like, why did you start buying them? I thought you
So-
hated them.
I think they're stupid, right? The stupid pop figures, like the big-eyed figures with big heads.
Stupid bobbleheads.
But there's this. I just buy the characters I like, but there's this store that opened up last year. That was above mine, and there's this girl I
my
like. She worked. Oh, shit. But I walked in one day, and she's always very abrasive. Like she's like, "Hi," and she rang me up. I got out. But one day she's like, "Hey, do you want to work here?" I'm like, "I can't," but I put together a staff for her and whatnot. By staff, I mean this guy I worked with at the park. It was my like best buddy. But anyways, like I fell in love with this girl. Like Seth met her. That's the cookie girl we were talking about. And she's like, I call her all the time. I just love the crap out of her.
And she's
she's old, though.
28
She's
years
like-
old.
She's 29 now, but I think we can make it work.
She's 9 years older than you.
I don't care. I love her.
And she's foreign, and I kind of wanted to get back into the foreign topic as well, because I met this girl. She was from Germany. This was whenever I first downloaded Tinder over the summer, and yeah, but I'm not gonna say her name, but she was like probably the sweetest girl you'll ever meet, and like she couldn't speak English very well, so it was kind of funny trying to translate like whenever she
Oh,
didn't
this is
know
when your
words.
weird date where when you bought a tub of ice cream to date, you freaking weirdo.
Yeah, we got ice cream.
And hung out at
and
the
we went to the park.
What-
Yeah, we went to the
Where we
park
weren't-
and ate ice cream. I thought it was pretty sweet.
All right, here's what happened. You were like, she
How
was
are
far
you gonna
away.
tell me what happened on my fucking date?
Because I'm an expert. in this park.
Sorry guys,
So
I didn't mean to drop the
Cameras in the
F-bomb.
park.
She lives about an hour away. So then Seth told her to meet him at the park, which is creepy. The park that he lives like 15 minutes away from.
I lived 30 minutes away from it.
She didn't know
She
that.
lived 30 minutes away from it.
No, she does not live 30 minutes away.
You said she lived an hour away from me.
No, she lives an hour away from the park.
No.
Because I've made that.
She
before.
drove 30 minutes. She didn't live in Charlotte. She lived I don't really know where exactly, but she didn't live in the city.
Farther away from Charlotte, mind you. But anyways, they meet at this park that they lock the doors and whatnot, lock the gates. So then Seth brings out a tub of ice cream like he's some Lego character pulling crap out of his ass or something. So they start eating ice cream in the park. I guess he brought spoons too, like a weirdo. And it's like, I don't know. No wonder you haven't gotten another date with her. She's probably creeped out. No offense, bud, but
The funny thing is that she's the one who told me to bring ice cream and spoons.
why don't you just take her to a freaking ice cream joint?
Take her
Sit
to
up.
Sweet Frog.
Yeah,
Clint,
me and
I'm-
Johnny went there.
I'm not the one who like arranged this idea, this
I
this
won't
date.
brag about two guys going to Sweet Frog, but Clint does.
No, like when we were talking, like she told me, she was like, "Oh, you could get no, that's not the right accent."
That's my girlfriend, dude.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to get my German accent together. Hold on. Yeah, you
No, that was
could
French.
get
That's Chinese.
the ice cream. No, this is German. You could get the ice cream, some spoons, and we could meet at a park. And
Well, that's freaking creepy. Hey, bring a spoon and let's meet at the park.
and that's
And you
the thing.
said yes?
That's the thing, though, Clint. I literally called Parker. I was like, "Hey, I'm going on a date with this girl that I met on Tinder. If I don't text you in like 20 minutes, call the cops and send them to Cherry Park."
I'm a little offended that you didn't call me. Because I was going to call you for the whole thing when I met that one girl. I said, I need you in the sniper's nest in case something goes down. I would have been there for you. I would have been in the kids'
Y'all
playground.
bring the wrong people. See, if you would have brought me, I would have been standing 20 feet away in a bush with a knife, ready to attack.
Johnny, you would have like gotten the wrong idea of what was happening and just run out and stab her
Just
in
threw a
her heart.
Let's go on.
I'm just like, we're having like a good day. She reaches for like a spoon, and you think that she's like
She's
trying
gonna
to just lob the knife through her through her forehead.
Then I just pull out my shotgun.
Johnny's got our back.
John, I love you, Johnny. You're a great friend. Clint, not so much. He couldn't protect me. He doesn't have knife throwing skills like Johnny does.
I don't have
You
the
ain't got no
gains, you know.
gains. You ain't got the gains. You gotta get those gains.
Oh
I
man.
think I'd be able to handle myself in a fight. We remember that time all three of us got in a fight. Is me, Seth, and Johnny. We all. It was after the whole Infinity War thing, and we went to the mall and went
A
to the store
verbal
I work at. No, we got in like
He
An
thought
actual,
he was
like,
gonna
fist
have
fight.
to.
we were. So like the whole store was silent, and I'm like creeping towards like the back door, and I like listen, and I hear somebody yelling. So now I back off real quick. This dude just bust out, and he looks mad. And Johnny, he gets like in like a stance, like he's the Hulk or something. Like he gets his fist up, and like I get in like a cool Captain America stance. And
Quit
Seth,
pulls his
I was-
shit. Like, it's going ever exaggerating it.
I look at Seth, and he's just like shocked, like, what? Like he's not in the cool stance at all.
I
He's,
was
like, in a
looking at my
homeless
phone.
person.
I was looking at my
No,
phone.
you were not. You were like looking surprised.
No, I was looking at
But
my phone
I-
and I looked up after he burst through the doors. Because
And
I
you
didn't
had,
know
like, a
what was
dumb
going
look on
on.
your face.
I wasn't paying attention.
Me and Johnny were prepared. You were like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I was
Where's
trying
Stormbreaker?
I was trying to find Stormbreaker. That's exactly what I was doing. I was like looking up like location on Instagram, seeing if I could like find it. Maybe she posted something on her
Yikes.
story and
God, that's
made it like public. And I was gonna
I
see if
haven't
I
done
could find
anything
it.
that creepy.
You,
Gosh.
Clint, you were literally the one who told me to do it.
Clint,
Oh.
you're the creepiest one here. Get over it. That's your thing.
Clint the
What
creep.
creepy- That's not funny. I don't want to hear that again.
It's your thing. It's who you are. It's your thing.
What
It
creepy
was
thing have I
what
done?
makes you.
Oh my God, Clint.
What creepy thing haven't
But-
you done?
But don't answer that, actually. Yeah.
That's how you know it gets bad. Like, no way, don't answer that. I tell y'all too much.
Parker, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm just really tired.
Obviously, I get it. Sounds like you're asleep.
Yeah.
What's your take on like all these stories that we're spilling out?
I'm just sitting here listening to them, minding my own business.
Not even cracking a smile.
He's playing the part of a
laughing. Like,
podcast listener.
yeah, I'm just like your first listener.
You're like the interactive listener.
Yeah, I know I've been a lot more interactive in the last couple of episodes, but in this one I've been chilling.
Chilling like a
I
villain.
don't
I
know
really
if
don't.
there's a whole lot of time left in this one, but I can come back last minute with something if you want.
Yeah, I think we got about 8.5 minutes left.
Well,
So yeah, we still have some
Seth-
time to talk about stuff.
Seth, you brought ice cream to a park and then looked at the Instagram for. I don't think I've done anything that creepy, honestly.
You really
He
want
did
us to
a
say
lot more
something?
creepy. I guess.
No, I don't.
Spill the
Because there's nothing
beans.
creepier. There's nothing creepier than what you did.
You think Jon Snow has a nice ass? Let's just start her off there.
That's not creepy. That's just stupid.
That's just
See,
weird.
you memorized Cat Girl's smoking schedule, so you could go out and talk to her while you take out the trash.
That's one.
You memorized her work schedule as well.
That's
just let me think about it.
That was
little
a
bit.
different girl, but
I thought that's even worse. That's even
the Turkish
worse.
wife. I love that girl.
Oh
Remember
no,
when
I
we
got
bought-
one. Remember when she gave you a bagel and you kept it?
Oh,
and
no,
you,
no,
like,
let's
you
not
licked
mention
it?
that. All right, yeah, that is creepy. I'm sorry.
Got him! Got him!
Yeah.
So, here's the story. I like chocolate covered gummy bears a lot, and I bought them in their store, and I gave her a bunch, and she's like, "I got something for you. Here you go." And it's like a bagel that she bit off of. So I was like, "Oh wow, thanks." And I just kind of like licked it.
Oh shit! He kept it the whole day.
I did because it reminded me of her.
And then, what
People-
was it? Whenever you tried to kiss her.
But we can't talk about that.
You
part.
tried to kiss her. She recoiled.
Oh, when I had her hand, and I was like,
What the fuck?
I was trying to be like Thor, like how he takes a girl's hand and like kisses it, and I tried to do it real quick, and she just pulled it out.
She ripped her hand away so fast.
Like, what the fuck?
Clint, can she like be with you since you're not Muslim or something?
I think she doesn't care about that.
I see.
Oh, I'd change for her.
Yeah.
You'll be a Muslim for her.
Convert to Islam.
God
literally
her
just
father,
for this
God her
woman.
father.
I don't think they say that.
And probably
Yeah,
not.
they do.
She is beautiful though. That's one of my.
She is
I love
pretty.
her.
I'm not gonna lie. She's a pretty woman. But she's also
beautiful,
she's
not
old.
just pretty. No,
she's also
not.
she's
29.
also 29. Way too old for me.
Pretty woman.
And you're way too young
She
for her.
ain't for you, okay?
She's way too
She has
young. You're way
Bonnie
too
written
you're
all
way
over.
too young for her.
I'm
She-
20. 2029. That's not weird.
She might not be too old for you, but you're too young for her. She doesn't want a young guy. Some young guy.
Yeah.
She told me that.
She said, "What the fuck?"
Remember
I'm not
when
sure
I
you-
bought her the cookie and she looked at you and she's like, "He's like my little brother."
You
And I
told
was
me
holding
that
back tears.
that broke your heart. I could see it like just in your eyes. You were devastated by that statement. Like my
One time
little
she wanted to
brother.
go to a Hornets game. I'm like, "Oh, I can get you tickets. Yeah, I'll take you." It's like, "I need 2 tickets. One for me, one for my boyfriend." And like I like immediately frowned, but then I tried to keep my smile up. And my old boss that worked at the park with us, he started laughing. Like he was busting out laughing. And I was like holding back so much sadness in that moment. It was one for me and one for my boyfriend. Ah, it was so
Swallow
sad.
that lump of sadness down in the back of your throat. It doesn't feel good.
It does
And
not
then,
feel
like-
good to keep sadness held back.
She closed her store down and I helped her close it up. And like I hugged her and then I walked out and immediately just started bawling. And I never cry. That's something I don't do. I was
Not even when you
crying
hit that
so
old lady.
much when she left. I was so freaking sad. Oh my gosh. I miss her so much.
You know who you remind me of?
Who?
A stalker.
Thor?
Bullseye.
No, I
You
knew you were
stalk-
about to bring that up eventually.
You stalk the woman, and then eventually you fall in love. Well, not even eventually. You fall in love with her. You stalk her, and then you make a move. She shuts you down, and you lose your shit.
There's actually this really funny part in one episode where Bullseye's with his therapist, and he says, "Yeah, I have pizza with my fiance every day," and like he's in a van, right? And she's eating pizza like in a diner or something, and then
he's
he pulls
watching
out.
her.
He's eating pizza in the van, watching her.
He's got like a whole like a not magnifying glass, like telescope, watching her eat pizza. That was a creepy
I don't do anything
part.
like that. Yeah, I don't do that.
I mean, you've never told us about that, but I wouldn't be
would.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if you told us that you did.
I wouldn't be surprised if you bought her a teddy bear and put a camera in it so you could see what she's doing right now.
That's a good idea, but I've never done that.
Oh my god. Don't do it, Clint.
Yeah, please don't.
I wouldn't.
That's
I'm
actually
I'm
that's
a good
very
dude. I don't do anything crazy.
It's very illegal.
You will go to jail. And I'll get in trouble for it because I said something.
You're his accomplice.
That's
yeah.
not as weird as bringing ice cream to the park.
That's
That,
Clint,
oh
it's
my
not
god, we
weird
already
at all.
went over this.
And we
You're a
don't
lot
even
more
allow outside food, so you're breaking the rules.
I didn't bring it into the park. I brought it. It was in the It was like the road. It wasn't actually like the park area.
So you're just hanging out in the road.
What Seth did
in the
is
road, you know
more
what-
romantic.
Yeah,
What you did
it's more creepy.
is lick a bagel. So,
Yeah, but it's her bagel.
soggy bagel.
No, it's stale. It's very stale.
Yes.
Grossest thing
He
ever.
knew. He knew.
He didn't like it was like a garlic bagel or something like
Yeah, and I hate bagels, by the way.
that. He kept it all day. He was licking it all day just because.
I no, I was not.
It was
Well, I
soggy
was
by the
not
end of the
just-
day.
I was not licking it like like ice cream or something. I just took a bite out of it and then sadly threw it away. Wow.
It's like that scene in The Lord of the Rings whenever Bilbo is dropping the ring at his front door. Like,
He puts it on. The bagel is mine.
What Clint don't know is that bagel, that wasn't her bite she took out. That was her boyfriend's bite. He didn't like.
No, I got rid of him.
Oh God.
You got rid
Oh
of him.
God.
Oh my god. Good
Okay.
thing you're recording this.
Yeah, thank God.
There was
We
this-
have proof. This man's a killer.
There's this another foreign person of mine. She was supposed to take me to Biscuitville. Well, she lives in a different city now, but I go there every once in a while. She never wants to hang out with me.
I wonder
I wonder
why.
why.
Yeah.
I can't
She said
imagine
she-
why.
So sad.
All right. Well, we're in the last 5 minutes. We could go ahead and wrap it up. I feel like things are sort of
I
winding
hope
down.
everyone listening to this had a great Thanksgiving and they're buying a lot right now on Black Friday.
Actually, everyone listening to this, don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Go to your nearest mall and spend money.
Or you could
This episode
just
will be out
eat a
Celebrate
bunch of food
Thanksgiving
with your
'cause what else
family.
am I gonna eat a whole bunch of turkey. Crap.
Oh yeah,
This one-
Johnny's right. This episode will be out after
After.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're pre-recording
Johnny's right.
because
I'm the one who mentioned that.
we're pre-recording right now because some of us have jobs, and when I say some of us, Johnny and Clint,
All of us.
me
Yeah,
and Parker.
and like
You
you
have
lazy
school.
bum.
You're in school, so that counts as a job. Parker.
No, it is not. I'm in school. I still work.
Yeah,
It's a
but
full-time
shit,
job.
he's in school. I guarantee you that if you're in school, and you don't have to work if you're in school, because you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, you do. You
trying
gotta
to,
pay
like,
off them
get
student
more
loans.
education. You can get a job after school.
Or
Yeah.
just during it. I got 5 jobs and I go to school.
Yeah, you only get paid for 4 of them though.
No,
Alright.
I got paid for the 5th one now. I get paid now. I'm
we
an
can't
employee
talk
now.
about that apparently.
That's right, but it's pretty cool.
All
Yeah,
right,
you need to get one good paying job instead of multiple jobs. That
right.
I don't want to leave anything though.
But yeah,
Right.
Sometimes you just gotta man up and do what you gotta do.
we really do have
I
to
can
end
get
this
you
though because we can't
Making
go over an
13
hour.
hour. 13 hours.
Man up, do what you gotta do. Well said, Johnny. Good thing to end on.
That was a quote to live by. I
wise
already
wise words with
framed
Johnny.
it.
But yeah, my editing software doesn't allow me to go over an hour, so we just gotta kind of cut it, almost kind
So
of
crappy.
abruptly. But yeah, I'm just gonna try and
Editing
smooth it out
software.
right here. Yeah, it is really crappy. But
That's another power hour.
but yeah,
You
this
get
is
the hell out.
this has been the Nightly Rounds podcast. Thank you for
I
listening.
love all of you guys. I want all of you listening to know that.
As
We
do
wouldn't
I.
be anywhere without you guys.
I hate you all. I'm talking to the audience. Unless it's Bagel Girl, I love you.
You know who you are.
Okay,
You another bagel.
I'm ending it. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.